The blacker the berry, the sweeter the juice. The blacker the berry, the bigger I shoot. You know, so over the weekend, I was busy doing some things, and it came to me, I might need to do another replay video, because you guys really seem to enjoy the first one. Partially because I was ripping on Russ, but I mean, you know, let's go to an artist that I actually like a lot. Logic is an artist that I've been following since about 2009, 2010, when he was releasing these really underground mixtapes. I believe I was like 14 years old around this time. Didn't really start hardcore support, until about 2011, I would say, when he came out with this whole, the whole Young Sinatra idea and all these other crazy convoluted things to kind of reference himself in all these old ways, like Frank Sinatra. Back in the time when he used to call his female fans the Bobby Soxers, and back when we were still referred to as the Rat Pack. Now, even though I like Logic, it always pains me to criticize him in any way because I feel so connected to this dude since I've watched his come up literally since the beginning. This series is called Replay. You already know what we do over here. In search of an opinion that may enlighten me and give me a brand new perspective on an artist's music. Without further ado, getting warm out here, man. Who can relate? Man, it's LOGIC. What are we gonna search? You guys want to look at the everybody review? Let's look at the everybody review. Okay, let's try Pitchfork. You know, why not? Why not? Pitchfork is pretty reputable, I think. I know some people view them as controversial as well. I don't really listen to other people's opinion of other people's opinion. Like, just because you don't agree with somebody doesn't make their opinion invalid. Like, I don't care if you like Pitchfork, you like anyone, just an opinion is an opinion. You can disagree with that opinion, of course, but I don't see the point in saying this person's whole opinion on anything is horrible now because they don't agree with me. 5.2, ouch. Maryland rapper Logic's new album, Everybody, is a strangely faithful adaptation of the short story with an emphasis on the endless cycle of reincarnations that eventually, hypothetically, cause everyone to be different incarnations of the same person. You know, I forgot that was actually a concept on this album. Like low-key, high-key, I completely forgot. Never mind that the concept is completely unoriginal. I kind of want to fight you. Astrophysicist Neil deGrasse Tyson, whose last major foray into rap was to wage war with flat earth truther B.O.B. B.O.B., get the fuck out of here. I need to do one of these on B.O.B. He addresses mental health and wellness, which is admirable, but there are no real revelations or comforts to be found in either. I disagree with the fact that there are no comforts that can be found in either. I mean, people find comfort in knowing that someone they idolize is going through the same thing that they are, so I can't say this isn't comforting for some people to know that Logic has been depressed or has wanted to be in those positions before. As to why he's felt that way, I can't speak to because I don't know if he's wanted to off himself because he feels like he's too white or he's too black, but I know anxiety is something that many people go through. I myself have gone through anxiety, and I've gone through it many times. I wouldn't necessarily say that he confronts any issues that are like unknown to people who experience these things, but I can't say that there can't be comfort found in any of this either. A song like Kendrick Lamar's why does why you gotta bring Kendrick up? Why? None of these race raps do anything meaningful. Yeah, I agree. You pretty much just said I'm white, I'm black, I'm biracial, I'm bisexual. I mean, whoa. I let my younger cousin watch Friends a lot, and more often than not, she confuses biracial and bi-Rachel. I just think it's funny. Anytime she says it, I think of Logic and I think of Jennifer Aniston at the same time. Logic's call for civic action seem woefully ignorant to how oppression and white supremacy work. It's always funny when white people mention white supremacy. And I'm not talking about Logic, I'm talking about the person who wrote this article, is if you have like a greater understanding of what it is to be a white supremacist. Like, I think it will be a concept that will be a lot more foreign to most people. I mean, for the most part, I would say this review kind of pinpoints most of the problems with Logic's Everybody album. There were a lot of tracks on there that I could see and identify with, but at the same time, it's just like, bro, like, I didn't fucking cry every time somebody called me light skinned when I was growing up. Partially because I know my dick is the darkest part of me. Like, I look down and I just know, you black man. Like, no matter what people say, no matter what they think, or no matter what you look like, no matter what features outside of your race you might have, you look down, you black. Unless Logic is seeing something else when he looks down. See, I don't know the full scope of the situation. So if I had context, not that I want it, okay? I don't want Logic to let me know about what he's seeing when he looks down. I don't want to know. Never, forget the question. Oh God, I just went to Metacritic. You may not agree, but this is a 10 out of 10 album if I've ever seen one. The production, lyrics, and story are top notch. And while much of the focus is on Logic being biracial, a lot of it is universal, wishing to help people and end hate. And his talks about race are fascinating and ring true to me. He has a lot to say here, and while I completely understand the divide that this album brings, I personally believe that this album is a fantastic work. I can't really disagree with this sentiment though. The way the dude explains it by writing this is kind of set in a way that isn't really disagreeable. It's just kind of left up to his own perspective. And I can't tell somebody that they didn't receive the music the way they said they received it. I disagree, but the way he writes this is in such a way that you really can't come back at his opinion for it. Clearly he's taken this in and accepted it on himself. Everyone else just viewed it a little bit differently. Complete with lyricism, top-notch production, and conceptual brilliance to tie it all together, Everybody is a hallmark release that further solidifies Logic's solid standing in hip-hop. To have a standing in hip-hop, I would say you'd have to be a major contributor towards it, and I don't really think Logic has been that inspiring to other artists. I don't really hear other artists being that inspired by someone like Logic, and I'm sure other parts of hip-hop and his contemporaries respect him, but I'm not thinking that Logic is, influencing other rappers who are up and coming, like the Drakes, like the Kendricks, like the Waynes. I don't think he's in that position yet to have sparked any influence in rap to be a major standing person in it. I mean, Logic himself still has clear inspirations. This sucks. I can't believe Logic would put out almost 2/3 talking. What happened to the flow? How about the old Logic? Where the fuck is he? Relax, okay? Relax. We can all agree that there was significantly more rapping going on in Logic's Young Sinatra mixtape days, his Young Broken Infamous, even Under Pressure. There was a lot more rapping. It was a lot more focused on solidifying himself or trying to make a platform for himself in hip-hop so he could be respected. I feel like Everybody is an album that should be created by a person that's already made an impact on hip-hop. I don't feel like Logic's impact on hip-hop was strong enough for him to make that album or want to make that statement yet. Let's go to The Guardian. Conscious hip-hop from everybody's favorite older brother? What? I don't think I've ever viewed Logic as an older brother. No. Maybe no. Music is only one half the story tonight. Most songs come with heartfelt preambles touching on the mental health crisis among teenagers and containing advice about staying afloat during dark times. Say I'm special. That'll fix all your problems. Just look yourself in the mirror and say that they aren't really there. I'm sorry, okay? I get it. It's about self-worth, self-motivation, improving the perception one has of one's self. But your acne ain't going away just because you say I ain't got none. Same thing for depression, okay? You have to actually come out of that mental rut, that mental place. It's not just something you get out of by saying that it's gone. First is that being a light-skinned rapper has its own set of acceptance and authenticity problems. I don't really think anybody would have made as big a deal about Logic's biracial struggle if he didn't present it so much within his music. I mean, Logic was the one who was telling people that he's half this and half that. I don't really think people were looking at him, even if people thought he was all white, I don't even think people were looking at him like he can't be a rapper. There's tons of white artists right now that are rappers. I don't get why it would have been a problem if Logic was under that spectrum. But I think more people had an issue with it because he brought so much more attention to it. Atwood Magazine, what you got to say about this album? Yet, although Logic has mixed success... You trying to be funny? Oh man, I'm sorry. Everybody was just a bit of a mixed bag of results. I'm just feeling kind of black and white on this project. It is or it isn't. Lastly, Neil deGrasse Tyson's lengthy spoken word commentary on the meaning of life and self-worth may be overdoing it for a record that thematically has too much on its plate already. Well, I mean, I might not have liked it, but the point of Neil deGrasse being on there was to essentially say that everything or any kind of conflict going on between humankind is useless because we're all technically the same. So I feel like his lengthy word piece is what's supposed to go on the album to kind of prove or aid in that point. Oh god, we back on Reddit. I love how casual it is. I don't know why. What's casual about racism? Huh? I don't mind me, man. I just got a little casual depression. Don't worry, it's casual. Like, real talk, how do you let J. Cole spit over a lullaby and literally kill you on your own album? I'm pretty sure it's written by Logic as a verse on album number 4, with Cole rapping this version. Otherwise, it wouldn't make sense, as Cole would be looking up to himself. It wouldn't make sense because Logic would be giving advice to himself if he wrote Cole's verse. What does that even mean? Take It Back is amazing right up until the 4.5-minute rant. Yep, that song could have been easily could have been a banger. Logic, you need to be like Eminem and remix your songs when you get some negative reception, okay? Listen to the fan base. If y'all weren't expecting preachy lyrics, especially with the concept behind the album, then I don't know what to tell you. It's like people only want him to rap about how he can rap fast / well at the same time. You know how many things there are for you to rap about? Why would that be the topic of your discussion? Ass, titties, pussy, money, weed. God, that is like the corniest hook known to man. Logic, never do that again in your whole existence. You really can't win on Triple H. Joey had a solid tape with meaning, but gets the I wish it wasn't surface level with the concept. Now Logic has a straight to the point and extensive album embodying the perspectives of everybody. Fucking debatable. And get the embarrassing, too preachy line, just enjoy the music. You know, I hate this about people too. Whenever you have criticism for an album, they say, oh man, just enjoy the music. But if you give reasons as to why you enjoy it, they don't tell you or try to censor you then. You're literally only telling me to just enjoy the music because you don't want to hear an opinion that challenges your own. Music is meant to be accepted and interpreted by the people who listen to it, okay? If you don't want to hear an opinion, then don't release any music. And how do you say Logic has a straight to the point and also says he embodies the perspectives of everyone? How many people do you think there are in this world? He pretty much talked about gay, anxious, depression, black, and white people. That's pretty much what he talked about for this whole album. Now, unless I need to further diversify myself, I don't think that's everybody. It's not bad, but there wasn't a single song that I sat back and thought, whoa, like, whoa! The biggest mistake of this album was talking instead of rapping. Oh no, I'm just getting kind of a depressed feeling. Who can really? Well, I think I'm gonna stop there. I definitely enjoyed Logic's Everybody album, and I could see what the point of it was and where it was trying to go. The only problem about Logic to me is that I feel like he abandoned so many of his other parts. Some of the other parts that made me a fan of him in the first place, just to drive home an idea or try to make people feel like he really cares about everyone, which I don't doubt that he does. I just think that it comes across as really forced as opposed to him coming across like he really needs to say these things. I know he means well, but I just don't feel it on this project. But that one post that I saw on Metacritic definitely changed my perspective on how I view how people took this album in, because I feel more often than not people get so obsessed with the idea of trying to be right that they don't understand that people still accept the music differently. They're not necessarily stating it as a fact, and that's essentially what I do on this channel. I don't state anything as it's a fact. It's just my opinion. If you agree with it, you agree with it. If you don't, you don't. But Logic, of course, keep prospering, keep being biracial. And before you say it, yes, I would understand. Not only am I, but other members of my family, and of course other people I have as friends, are biracial. So I completely get where he's coming from. Would I talk for a good portion of an album about it? No. Thank you guys for watching. It's been Shawn C. I'll see you in the next episode of the replay. I will try to make the next one a little bit more controversial. Maybe I'll do a Kanye album next time. I don't know. We'll see. Thank you for watching. I'll see you next time. I'm out. Peace.